Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notify button, and you'll never miss a video again.
Yesterday, TNA and WWE and their partnership, and you wanted to talk about it a little bit more today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of interesting facets to it, and it's kind of like, why would WWE do this? Because WWE is notorious for not helping other companies, but they partnered with other companies. But usually, it's like a New Japan partnership with another company. It's like the company's down, they need New Japan help, and then you pay for it in the end, and like that. It used to happen. It's I mean, obviously, we were just a couple of weeks away from TNA, cutting back on salaries and things like that. So we know they have the financial problems. I think that where WWE comes in is that there's a couple things. Number one, you can see that there are the podcasters that are the anti-AEW podcasters, and they're already trying to declare that TNA is number 2.
I saw a tweet, I would say, yesterday. I think I saw one.
So I think that they want that thing to throw in, hey, TNA is number 2. And if they could get the perception of TNA being number 2 out there, if that perception's out there, obviously it hurts AEW because now they fall to number 3. But also, TNA is totally under WWE's control. So it's the thing is they would control NXT, they would control TNA for the most part. Because in a relationship like this, the big company is going to be in control. The other aspect of it is that, by doing so, obviously it hurts AEW, but they don't own it. So there's not really if they bought TNA, if they outright bought them, you start getting the antitrust thing that UFC had to deal with, by buying everybody. So this one, they don't have that aspect. And I mean, the key thing is that there's a couple of markets. Really, the only, there's the international markets that WWE pulled out of. There's a lot of them. The only one that's a big, now that TNA did get Canada, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but there was, I think that TNA, how well they've done on Sportsnet, in the first 2 weeks, especially the second week, was very, very disappointing. Of course, it's still early; it's only a couple of weeks in, but Sportsnet in Canada, there were people trying to tell them that, because they're the bigger platform than TSN. Although people will argue that Sportsnet does have the hockey and everything, so it's number 1 really in Canada because that's the number 1 sport. But as far as the idea that it's not WWE, it's all just wrestling, and there's no difference, and you would do as well, and that absolutely hasn't happened. I mean, TNA's numbers are far, but below AEW's numbers in Canada. We're only a couple weeks in, but we'll in who knows, but it's a big difference. But I think the idea is there's one big deal out there, and it's come up in March or April, which is India. That's a real money deal. We don't know that India is going to want to take more wrestling, losing WWE, but it's only 6 has had great success with wrestling. So I think there's for years. So I think that there's a real good chance that they would. They're used to paying, a lot of money, $40 million plus a year, which is very considerable money, especially for TNA. Or for AEW for that matter, or even if they only pay like a half or 2/3, it's great. It's a great deal. And if the idea of, they're going to get some WWE, you may get WWE talent, maybe that'll sway them to get TNA, which again would block AEW. I think that's a big part of this one, is that India deal. I think it plays into that somewhat. So, that's the basic gist. It's good for TNA short run. Their pay-per-view tomorrow. They promised NXT stars. I expect that they will do a pretty decent number. coming off of this and everything. I mean, just because, again, the TNA usually doesn't do big numbers on pay-per-view. Obviously, last year in January they did a great number, but since then, whatever, whatever, it was like 7,000 maybe or something. So see how this one does.
Thank you so much for checking out this free video. If you don't mind, please click like and subscribe.